Hello and welcome. You're watching the Modern Mystic Radio Show. My name is Mystic Saira. I'm going to be with you until 10 o'clock UK time. I will be taking some calls, so please start dialing in. Before I do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on up in the skies tonight. So tonight we have, in about an hour, will be the full moon in Capricorn. We've also got a lunar eclipse. So let's just talk about how that is possibly going to be affecting you. We have had some really sort of kind of heavy energy over the last few days. I don't know whether you've been feeling it. But if we're looking at the lunar eclipse, what it's doing is actually bringing up past issues that we need to look at. And it's not to go into panic mode, not to think that we've got to relive these in any way, but it's just really they're coming up to the forefront in terms of being cleared once and for all. So if it is the case that you've been feeling a little bit reflective, maybe ideas and thoughts and memories have been popping up to do with your past, maybe even hidden ones as well, because obviously the lunar eclipse is about hidden things as well. That will be the reason why. So we have that element. Now we also have the full moon in Capricorn, which is going to be quite a powerful moon. So with the Capricorn energy, it's quite hardworking, it's quite steadfast, it's very resilient. So it'll be adding extra energy into certain areas of our lives. Now you can use that energy, and I'll tell you what for in a second. So if we're looking at Capricorn, we're looking at areas to do with work, long-term goals, big projects, things like that. Capricorn is also the great teacher. So perhaps looking at your bigger lessons in life, okay, and maybe your big destined moves that are coming up for you, perhaps in terms of work, business and security. So those are the areas that you need to be really focusing on. So what I would like to suggest to you today, while using that full moon energy, is to really set your intentions for your long-term goals and objectives. So for instance, if you're thinking of launching your own business or going self-employed or starting a new career or perhaps moving house, those will be the areas in which you can focus on, and any other perhaps creative projects that you might have in mind. So how to do that? Well, we've got in an hour, this full moon is going to be up in the sky, ready and waiting for us. So if you're going to choose a candle colour, because I always like to work with the colours of the astrological signs. Capricorn, you would go for brown, grey, black or red. So really the earthy tones is what you're trying to bring up. So you would light your candle and you would set your intentions and really spend some time visualising yourself achieving those goals that you're dreaming of. And of course, if you're going to be using that lunar eclipse energy, maybe releasing some blocks at the same time might not be a bad idea. Okay, so that's the full moon and lunar eclipse energy for tonight. I am looking forward to doing your calls. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about something that I've recently started doing, or I'm focusing on doing in the near future. So if you're at home and you are a budding psychic or a budding tarot reader, and you would like to get your business or up and running, or maybe go on to the next level of your business, this is what I'm focusing on at the moment. So what I'm offering everybody is psychic coaching. So if you want to find out how to get your business ahead, what to do to start it, how to be successful, then why not get in touch? So the easiest way to do that is through my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk, or you can get me on my Facebook page, which is Modern Mystic, or Mystic Saira. So what I can do in terms of working with you is looking at how to promote yourself, how to get your business seen, how to engage with your clients, and how to give yourself a bit of an edge, because there are lots and lots of people out there. So maybe it's something that you've been thinking about. I mean, I remember before I took that leap of faith, I was stuck in a day job that I really didn't enjoy, dreaming of another life working as a psychic, and here I am today. So if you want to find out how I did that, then I'm more than happy to work with you. Okay, so let's just see if we have anybody waiting for us on our phone lines for my first call. Do we have anybody there? I'm just waiting. Do we have somebody come through? Ah, okay. We have a caller. We've got April, who is in Massachusetts. Hello, April. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Are you enjoying this full moon energy, or are you finding it a little bit taxing?
I'm enjoying it.
Good. Lovely to hear that. Okay, is there anything that you would like me to focus on for you tonight?
I was hoping you could connect me to my sister who has crossed over.
Okay, let me just see what I get for you. I'm just going to use my spirit message cards, and let's just see what we have for you. So did she pass quite young?
4 months ago.
I mean, quite young in age. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do feel like I am picking up. Is your dad in spirit as well?
No.
No, there's a male that seems to be around her, and I'm wondering, is your grandfather in spirit? Because I feel like I've got this male with her. It's got kind of a fatherly energy.
He is.
Yeah, it's almost as though I feel like she's highlighting that for you to let you know that she's not alone, if that makes sense. I feel that she's been trying to connect with you as well. Have you had any kind of experiences that give you the impression that she's been around?
I've been seeing feathers just out of the blue, white feathers.
Wonderful.
I have cardinals, blue jays, all these sorts of animals come into my yard now. I've actually been starting to feed them just because I feel like the cardinal is my sister.
I mean, this is what I'm kind of getting here for you, is that she has been trying to let you know that she's safe in spirit, and that when I'm like tuning into her energy, I'm being shown here like an illness. Does that make sense with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's drawing my attention to sort of further down, like the sort of stomach area, perhaps. Does that make sense?
I'm not really sure about that. We weren't really in contact too much before she passed away.
Okay. Now, when I'm tuning into, I want to give you that. Maybe this is something that you can find out from people that are closer to her. But what I feel I've got when I'm tuning into her energy, when she's speaking about you, okay, my feeling here is that there's great warmth, and there's a great sense of forgiveness as well coming through with this. Do you feel as though that there is still stuff that is unsaid? Does that make sense between the two of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my feeling here with her is that this is now your time to let that go. She's giving you, I feel, really happy, positive signs that she's okay and all is forgiven. Does that make sense? And I feel like this is the message, if you like, from all of these white feathers, etc., that you are experiencing, you're now seeing. I also feel that she's trying to encourage you as well to go forward. So my feeling here is like everything has stopped. Does that make sense for you? in your life.
It does. Yeah.
And she wants you, it's almost like she's saying, don't miss a beat here. To go out and take this opportunity. I feel like what she's saying here is that the lesson that is perhaps it needs to be taken on board. She's coming across in quite a gentle way here, as though she wants to treat you really carefully. Does that make sense to you? As though you're very sensitive at the moment. And what she's saying here, what she's saying is that to take the lesson that life can be, life can be cut short. Does that make sense? As it was with her. And she doesn't want you to stand still in your life. Does that make sense to you? And I feel like this is something that perhaps you've been thinking about in terms of, right, well, I'm going to make my life really count now. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's so hard to just move forward.
But I feel like she's trying to help you to do that. Does that make sense? I feel like she's saying you're sitting. It's like you're sitting on, your own potential, and you're sitting on your own dreams, and you don't need to. And I feel like she's saying, be the brave one here. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
She's also been giving you memories as well, things that you've done in the past. And I feel, one thing that she's also trying to reiterate to me is that you've been a little bit concerned that it's like, what if this happens to me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what she's saying here to me, to give to you, is that your journey is totally different. There's something that's quite random about her illness. Does that make sense? Like it's uncommon. Does that make sense to you?
She actually died of a drug overdose.
Okay. Why is she giving me this uncommon energy with it? So have you also had to fight addiction issues?
No, never.
No, never. I don't know why she's saying that you won't go down the same road. Let me just tune into that, because I want to find out what she's talking about. And she's talking about like her emotional pain. Does that make sense, that she was going through?
100% makes sense. Depression.
And I feel like she's saying that this is not going to happen to you. Okay, not necessarily. It may very well be that you share some strong similarities within your past, but she said her outcome is not yours. And I feel that it's something, you feel like there's something that you should have done. Does that make sense?
Every day.
And what she's saying here is she said, when we're looking at forgiveness, she's saying, I don't need to forgive you. So she doesn't need to forgive you. What she's talking about when it comes to forgiveness is you forgiving yourself for being human. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
And she thoroughly, totally understands that. And what she's saying here is that at that particular point in her life, she would have been, how can I get deaf ears? She wouldn't have listened to what you've got to say.
And she didn't. Exactly.
Absolutely. So she's saying that she was on. She's given me the impression that the pathway that she was on, like she'd gone too far. Now, obviously, she went too far on that occasion, but she's saying that her problem was too much to recover from. Does that make sense?
It does.
And what she doesn't want is for you to feel any kind of responsibility, because as far as she's concerned, you know, she knew that you were there for her. Was there some sort of falling out a while ago between the two of you?
Yes, there was, because of what was going on.
Because of her pathway.
Yeah.
Because she's bringing my attention to that now, and she's what she's saying here is to try not to go back over it. Okay, try not to relive that, and try not to relive that last conversation that you had with her, because I feel here that at that point there was nothing that you could have said or done that would have changed the outcome. This was a course that she was on that even she couldn't find her way out of. Does that make sense? But now it's like the energy that I get, and it's quite nice because she's saying that this is the meaning of the the animals that you're getting in your garden. She's saying here she's free as a bird, okay? And I feel that a lot of her mental torment, which is where she was stuck, all of it has gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, so she wants you to go ahead, to not stand still, and to live out your life as though you're doing it for the both of you. Does that make sense to you? Because I feel that whatever it is that you have planned, you're going to make sure that you absolutely make 100% of it. Okay, and I get you literally going, this is what she wants you to do, is to not stand still, to not reflect, and I feel like this is what the meanings are that you're getting, you know, it's what she's trying to drum home to you. Does that make sense?
It does.
You know, there's also, she's talking about choices coming up for you as well. Were you thinking of changing your career or doing something with a deeper meaning, something that's more heart-centered?
We're in the process of buying a house. And moving to another town.
Okay. Well, I get with you different choices, so and a different pathway altogether. So I feel like if you look at the house move, that's just the first step of it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I feel that no matter where you go, she will also follow. Does that make sense? I'm also being shown here that she does want to, or she will connect with you in your dream state, and this will be her way of showing you that there is total forgiveness on every single level. Okay, and it will be your opportunity.
I ask her every night to come to my dream.
As she will, but sometimes this is always it's when we least expect it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, not when we feel the need. So I feel like she will be there, almost acting as your guide or your helper throughout your life. But she wants you to know that she's free as a bird at the moment.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, right. So I'm going to have to leave it there. It is the end of my show. It's gone incredibly quickly. So I just want to thank you for coming through, and I do hope you found that helpful.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You take care and all the best.
You too.
Okay, so that is it for me for today. It's gone incredibly quickly. I will be back the same time next week. Try and use some of that Capricorn energy to push some momentum and force your dreams and your goals to come into reality. Give it some real sort of powerful, strong energy. So you can do that tonight. And of course, let me know how you get along. And if you're experiencing some difficulties, we are in Mercury retrograde as well. So that has been causing a few disturbances. That will end on the 31st of July. Thank God for that. Okay, so I shall see you soon, and goodbye for now.